Hi everyone, welcome to another video where today I'm at RAF Syerston for a family day and they've invited loads of Aston Martins, Ferraris and other makes. Located just southwest of Newark in Nottinghamshire, RAF Syerston sprang into life in December 1940 as one of the RAF's bomber command stations. Initial crews were Polish Wellington squadrons, followed by Canadian Hamptons, and then Lancasters as the Allies stepped up night bombing operations. Today it's a hub for gliding and basic flight training in the RAF, and it's a real privilege for Aston Martin Owners Club to be invited to their private family day. So let's go and have a look around. Whilst admiring the training hangars and seeing what else was around, RAF staff asked us Aston Martin owners to reposition our cars into the main area. Now all the exhibitors were in position. It's always so lovely to be in the company of such beautiful British cars. After the cars were repositioned, it was time for a breakfast pancake whilst we look around. This is a great thing about coming to places like this and events like this, is that you get to see one of those. So you may recognise this aircraft. It's nicknamed Sally B and is the last airworthy B-17 in Europe. This actual aircraft was used in the 1990 film Memphis Belle, where she stood in for the famous World War II bomber of the same name. We'll come back to this aircraft a bit later on. This old girl stands out. Of all the cars here today, few capture Aston Martin's early spirit quite like this one. This is the Aston Martin DB2-4. Introduced in 1953, it marked a turning point for the brand. The first true Grand Tourer, elegant, fast and surprisingly practical. With its 2+2 seating layout and that distinctive rear hatch, it offered something rare in its day, a sports car you could actually tour Europe in. Under the bonnet sat the Lagonda twin-cam straight 6, delivering effortless pace and a top speed of over 120 miles per hour. The name itself, DB2-4, tells its story. It wasn't an all-new model, but an evolution of the DB2, reimagined with room for 4. Aston's racing machines carried the DB3 name, so this refined road car kept its lineage. In total, only around 760 examples were built, including a few rare baton-bodied spiders. Each one represented the perfect bridge between the pure early DB2s and the later iconic DB4s, a car that defined the moment Aston Martin truly became a maker of Grand Tourers. So here she is. In 1990, Sally B took on a starring role, transformed into the Memphis Belle for the Hollywood film of the same name. The movie paid tribute to the real bomber crews of the 8th Air Force, capturing the courage and camaraderie of those missions over Europe. For many, it was this film and this aircraft that helped keep the legend of the Memphis Belle alive for a new generation. As you look at this amazing aircraft, it's impossible not to think of the crews who once manned planes just like this. Young men, often barely in their 20s, facing freezing skies, enemy fire and long odds with every mission. Though this aircraft never saw combat, she serves as a powerful reminder of their bravery, a living tribute to those who never made it home.
To the left, you can see the world-famous Sally B. Built in 1945, she didn't see service combat, but went on to have an iconic post-war career. She even became internationally famous when she used in the film Memphis Belle in 1990, hence her distinctive camera and black. So, Sally B were also technical advisors of the critically acclaimed TV series Masters of the Air.
There's some very loud music being played here, so for copyright purposes I'm having to play some quiet music in the background as we go, and I'll work some magic in the editing. Anyhow, I wanted to have a look around a couple of other cars, starting with this stunning machine which looks every bit like a 1960s AC Cobra, but it's actually a Kirkham 427 KMS SC. a beautifully hand-built recreation by Kirkham Motors in Utah. With its lightweight aluminium body, 7.2 litre V8 engine and racing pedigree styling, it captures the raw power and spirit of the original Shelby Cobra, a true continuation of one of motoring's most iconic designs. Here we have the unmistakable Boeing Chinook, designed and built in the United States but proudly operated by the Royal Air Force since the early 1980s. With its twin rotor layout and immense lifting power, the Chinook has become the backbone of British air mobility, transporting troops, vehicles and aid wherever they're needed. Its deep rotor thump is a sound instantly recognised across countless RAF missions worldwide. This is the Aston Martin DBS on Her Majesty's Secret Service edition, built to celebrate 50 years since the 1969 James Bond film. Finished in the same olive green as the original movie car, it features a bespoke grille, red stitched interior and even a drinks cabinet. And let me just show you a clearer picture of that embroidered James Bond logo. This special edition was inspired from this, the original 1969 Aston Martin DBS, driven by George Lazenby as 007. Now this caught my eye, a Ferrari 458 Spider, powered by a 4.5 litre naturally aspirated V8 producing just over 560 horsepower. It's one of Ferrari's last mid-engine models before the turbo era. What really stood out though was the interior. That bold red and cream finish instantly reminded me of the Aston Martin DBS Superleggera that won its class at the Aston Martin Owners Club concours in Austria earlier this year, where my own car took second place. You can catch that full story in my Aston Martin Owners Club 90th anniversary series. The link is in the description below. Approaching are two F-15E Strike Eagles, a twin-engine all-weather fighter built by McDonnell Douglas, now Boeing. Designed in the US for deep strike missions, it's one of the most capable combat aircraft in the world. I know my recording is not doing the engine noise justice, it's just incredible. Several operate out of RAF Lakenheath in Suffolk, the only American F-15 base in the UK, so making appearances like this are rare but always unforgettable. There's something almost deceptive about the F-15E. You barely hear it coming, just a whisper against the sky. But the moment it sweeps past, the air tears open, twin engines unleashing pure thunder. Just watch the Strike Eagle spool up to around 450 knots, pull 6+ G and rocket skyward, climbing at tens of thousands of feet per minute. And there it goes, gone through the clouds. Just amazing. Just when I thought the day couldn't get any better, the sky suddenly erupted. Here it comes, here it comes. Out of nowhere, the unmistakable roar of a Eurofighter Typhoon broke through the clouds. One moment calm air, the next a streak of grey thunder slicing across the horizon. You don't just hear a typhoon, you feel it through your chest. A fleeting glimpse of British power at its best, and a sound you feel long after it's gone. Now for a quick look around as we await the red arrows. As the red arrows painted a heart across the sky, I couldn't help but feel a real sense of pride. Pride in being British, and in days like this that bring together everything we stand for. Pride, precision, passion, and the courage to keep pushing forward. From the cars we build to the skies we defend, it's that same spirit that unites us. A quiet confidence, a respect for heritage, and a drive to keep writing the next chapter. And here we have the perfect way to end, the lovely Aston Martin DBS, as we hear a little plane doing a display overhead. The DBS is a car that defines understated power and craftsmanship. Built between 2007 and 2012, fewer than 3,400 were ever made, each one hand finished at Gaydon in Warwickshire. Under the bonnet, a 6-litre V12 delivering over 500 horsepower, wrapped in a body that balances aggression with grace. It's one of those cars that doesn't shout out for attention, it just owns it. Typically Aston Martin. Standing beside it here, surrounded by so much British engineering excellence, it feels like the ideal full stop to an unforgettable day. Whereas the last planes overhead that you might hear in the background are coming down to land, I'm going to bring this video to a close. It's been a great event, lots of Aston Martins that have turned up and Ferraris, which we've had a look round. It's good to see that OHMSS special edition that's turned up, as well as the DB4. It's been great to have a look around, and we finish off with this immaculate DBS. which just looks fantastic. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed that. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. Comments below are always welcome. And please subscribe, because there's plenty more videos to come. See you on the next one. Why not enter it into an Aston Martin Owners Club concours? Is that something that you would consider doing?